Okay, so it's been a few months since I replaced the door handle on this Mazda CX-7. Bought some used snow tires on aftermarket Hyundai rims, but I think it looks cool. The all-season tires that were on it were kind of crap to begin with. I think they may have been original, because the Mazda CX-7 shipped with 215 70R17s. You can't really get those anymore. Your other alternative size is 225 65 17 and 235 65 17. So I'm just going to do a little cold start. See what happens to it. So far so good. The handle didn't break off in my hand. The only issue that I'm having with the car right now is the tire pressure sensors have gone to shit, so I can't tell if my tires have enough air in them, but I drove a Cadillac for 9 years, so I'm able to tell if my tires are flat just by visually looking at them. And also the what do you call it, the traction control and ABS is broken, but who needs traction control or ABS? Okay, let's start this pig. Hold on, I'm gonna turn the phone this way. And that was -9 degrees. My Cadillac can start better than that when it wants to. And you can tell how we got some problems with the ABS and traction control, and we also got the blinking tire light. That's not a big deal. But for $2,000, this is a pretty good car. Gets me where I need to go. And underneath this hood you have a 2.5 liter dual overhead cam 16 valve variable valve timing engine. This is not the 2.3 model with the turbo that always go bad. This is the 2.5, and it's the most reliable one out of the bunch. But if you ever want to know what a 16 valve variable valve timing engine sounded like on one of these, this is what it sounds like. This engine's done over 126,000 kilometers, and she's still going strong. Still have the original battery too. But yeah, purring like a kitten. In fact, it sounds like a sewing machine. Cool. So if you own a Mazda CX-7 and you have the traction control and ABS lights on in your dashboard, there's two reasons for that. Reason number one could be the sensor that counts the revolutions of the wheel as it's turning. It could be a faulty sensor. That's easy to replace. The second issue could be a bad reluctor ring. And unfortunately, mine has the bad reluctor ring. Now, it's not so bad if you live in a non-salted climate, but if you live in a non-salted climate, this won't happen to you. Since I live in Canada, we salt the roads up here, and rust is a very terrible thing. So what happens is rust builds up underneath this ring on the axle and causes this ring to split in half. And when it does that, you lose your ABS and traction control. but it doesn't kind of let you know right away. What will happen is when you're driving, you'll just be driving like nothing out of the ordinary is happening. And as you're coasting between 40 to 20 kilometers or 40 to 20 miles, you'll hear like a tick, 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 tick underneath the dashboard. And you're just going to be thinking, what the heck is that? Like, what could that be? A lot of people mistake it for those blend door actuators down there causing a problem. On the CX-7, it's different. And normally on the Mazda CX-7 and other models, it does the same thing. But it will make a little tick, 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 tick sound, and that's the computer trying to compensate or trying to calculate how many times this is turning. But with that split in there, it's messing everything up and making the computer trying to figure out what's going on. Eventually what will happen is if you drive probably, say, like maybe 5 kilometers or so, the system will finally trip the lights because it cannot count the number of spins because of that split there. Now, in my case, in order to replace this, I have to replace the entire axle because of the amount of rust buildup. If you live in a climate that doesn't use salt on the roads, and you take care of your car and you oil undercoat it, most likely you can easily just slip a new ring on. You would have to take it to a shop that specializes in compressing these on, because you can't just slip them on, you have to compress them on. It's kind of like a compression fitting. Unfortunately, from where I live, the rust buildup on the axle is too much that it's just better to replace it. And that's probably about maybe, I'm going to say, probably a $700 job to do to replace that. So I told them to remove this ring because it would stop the constant clicking sound. And I've been driving with my ABS and anti-lock brake lights on. The only reason why I haven't bothered to fix it is because I drove a Cadillac for 9+ years with no traction control and no ABS, and really, it's not that bad. You just gotta not be a dickhead when you're driving, and you gotta drive slow, especially in the winter or on a rainy day. So, practice safe driving habits and you'll be fine. And that's what I do. So yeah, it may not be attached to the vehicle anymore, but it makes one hell of a cool bracelet. If any of you wanted to wear a Mazda part to let everyone know that my Mazda traction control and ABS doesn't work, you could definitely wear it. It's wearable bling. Cool.